And even Japanese, even I will be discriminated if I was perceived as an outsider inside of Japan by Japanese people. So thinking backwards, the other way around, if you behave like Japanese people and if you know the rules of local people, and then you will be accepted no matter what race you are, how you look, what color of skin you have, where you're from. Okay, this is a very important point. If you have Japanese values, if you really understand Japanese tradition or customs, if you behave properly, you'll be accepted, regardless of your racial features or color of skin. The key word is sharing, to share time and space and share the framework of experience. So I give you another very interesting example. Baseball in Japan is very big, and the home run king is Sadaharu Oh. He hit 868 home runs, which Japanese consider to be a world record. Well, anyway, he is not Japanese actually. I don't know, he was naturalized, but he was born in Taiwan to Japanese parent and Chinese parent, and so he's a foreigner, but he grew up in Japan. He speaks perfect Japanese. He of course know very traditional things of Japan, and he can follow every invisible laws. So Sadaharu Oh is a national hero in Japan, although he is Chinese. So considering how Chinese people and the Korean people has been discriminated in Japan, it's quite remarkable. It's like Michael Jordan is the superstar in America, even though he's black, and even though the history of black people being discriminated. Sadaharu Oh has a season record of home run 55 home run at season, and that is Japanese record. In the past, 3 Western-born players challenged his record. One was Randy Bass of Hanshin Tigers in 1985. He hit 54 home runs, and after he hit 54th, his team, Hanshin Tigers, was against Tokyo Giants, and that is the end of the season, and there were 3 games left with Giants. What happened was pitchers from Tokyo Giants gave Randy Bass a walk every time he was at bat, and the head coach of Tokyo Giants was Sadaharu Oh. So the players of Tokyo Giants wanted to protect Sadaharu Oh's record. That's why Randy Bass was given a walk every time he was at bat. So Randy Bass couldn't hit 55th. And this incident provoked lots of controversies even in Japan. Lots of people, Japanese people, criticized Tokyo Giants' strategy to prevent Randy Bass from hitting 55th home run, which is tie record of Sadaharu Oh. The same thing happened several years ago. I think it was in 2002 or 2003. I don't remember the specific year. But 2 players hit 55 home runs in one season. One is Alex Cabrera from Save Lions, and the other is Taffy Rose from Kintis Buffaloes. Now what happened was when Taffy Rose hit 55th home run at the end of the season, the remaining games was with Daya Hawks, whose head coach was Sadaharu O again. Taffy Rose was given a walk every time he was at the bat, and he couldn't hit 56 home run because of that, and it provokes lots of controversies in Japan. Lots of Japanese people criticize Daiei Hawks for being not sportsmen. The logic again behind that was explained by a coach of Daiei Hawks. His name was Wakana, I think. He's a battery coach. He explains that Taffy Rose will go back to America someday. That was his explanation. Taffy Rose and Sadaharu O, well, they are both foreigners. But the difference is Taffy Rose was perceived as temporary visitor to Japan, while Sadaharu O was considered to be a permanent resident. And I'm going to give you another example. Conservative people, politically conservative people, argued on TV that they are against suffrage for a permanent resident in Japan. Suffrage for local government, not national government, of course not. So what they say is that even permanent residents in Japan, they can flee from Japan once Japan is in trouble. If Japan is in a war state or something, and then foreigners can leave Japan for good. So they argued that they cannot give you suffrage, local suffrage to foreign people. So here you can see what is important to Japanese people, right? The example of Taffy Rose, the example of suffrage to local foreigners. Japanese sentiment is that whether you will be with us or not. Well, somebody in North America said that before, right? But either you are with us or not. If you stick to Japan, if you live in Japan forever, if you fight for Japan, if you die with other Japanese people, okay, you are with us. Even if you're a foreigner, even if you have different eye colors, even if you're from another foreign country, you are with us. And I think they will be touched if a foreigner come to Japan and I'm ready to die with you, and they will kiss you. That's the sentiment of, I think, Japanese people, or conservative people at least.